All right, we'll have Coach begin with an opening statement on Vanderbilt on Friday, welcoming back Anders Nelson and Johnny Teeler with the Doors, 7 o'clock on SEC Network, and then we'll go to questions from there.
Yeah, just, first of all, just proud of our team for, out of the last 7 matches, 5 of them have been on the road. To be able to come back successful on those trips. It's not easy winning on the road, especially when you have that many crammed in a short amount of time. Awesome to welcome Anders, who was with us for 12 years, I believe, and Johnny Teeler was with us for 4 or 5, 5 years. So just the growth of the people that have come, from this program and the SEC and around the country is, really cool to see and see, how they're doing. But got another home match and love to build on the attendance that we got at Florida. Our next several home matches are going to be big down the stretch here in the SEC, and the crowd against Florida was fantastic, and hopefully we can have another one on Friday night against Vandy.
Questions?
Do you like, I know coaches feel differently, like going against people that you know so well, or is that a little more difficult?
It's definitely a little uncomfortable. I want Anders, I want Johnny to be successful, and of course we're trying to win the match. So it's in the past you've had several coaches have gone on to do other things, and you want to be successful and put your best foot forward, but at the same time you want them to have the same success that we've had here at Kentucky. So mixed emotions for sure.
Are there any sort of coaching advantages that they have since they know you so well?
Oh yeah, I mean they'll know our play calls and offensive systems that they run, so their defense may have a little head start with where our attacker is going to be at different times. So there's definitely that advantage. They'll have some nerves too, I would imagine. That come back where they spent a big part of their coaching lives and playing careers. So they'll know some things.
Coach, I assume your team probably won't have this problem, but obviously with Texas on Sunday.
Who?
No, I was just you did a good answer here right there. I assume your team's not looking ahead to a big game on the weekend.
I mean, obviously Texas is a big match, and Vandy's a huge match for us, just like A&M's a huge match for Texas on Friday. And if one of us isn't successful, then it changes the match on Sunday. So we know how important Vanderbilt is. We also know how big a match Texas is, and obviously the attention is going to go there. And our team has done a really good job, focusing on today. And I expect no different, but we'll certainly look forward to that match when we get to it.
You talk about Cassie O'Brien, just what she's been able to do as a freshman.
Yeah, you're super proud of Cassie. That I remember back when Emma Groen was a freshman, and remember the amount of pressure that she felt to live up to Madison Lilly and the expectations of the program. And Cassie's built in a way that she does not let what's happened in the past or yesterday affect how she's going to attack today. And I didn't realize she broke a freshman record for assists in a 3-set match until hours after the match, and Chris pointed that out. So again, she continues to do great things, but also continues to recognize where she needs to improve for her team. And the humility it takes to do that is special, because you're getting a lot of recognition, but she realizes how important today to get better is too.
Did you ever expect her to win this many weekly SEC awards early in the season?
You certainly don't plan for that. She'd be the first one to say that, if our team doesn't have the success we've had, then she doesn't get those awards either, but for her to continue to deliver and put, we've had a lot of people have, really good nights offensively the last couple weeks. And, Lizzie Carr and Kenny Washington are very good in the middle of this past weekend. Eva had a great weekend last week, and Brooklyn had a great weekend. But I think all 5 attackers hit over 300 against Alabama, and when you're doing that, that has a lot to do with what your setting situation is, and Cassie's embracing that.
Craig, the play of Washington and Carr seems to be getting better and better. How important is that for you over the next few weeks for them to keep doing that or get even better?
Yeah, I mean, we've probably talked about the first press conference. The balance offensively is a focus for us and continues to be, and we're still adding new wrinkles as we go through the season, but getting that type of production from Kennedy and Lizzie last weekend was really important for their own belief, Cassie's belief, and our team's belief to be able to attack teams from all sides of the net.
Craig, does the fact that Vanderbilt has people that are connected to your program, does that make it easier for you to keep your team from looking ahead to the match Sunday?
Yeah, probably. I mean, a lot of our players know Z and Anders, and they're excited to see them and welcome, them back to Lexington. And so, again, I do have to give our team credit. They've done a really good job of not getting ahead of themselves. I think they realize the importance of their own development and our ability to play well on Friday. And when you see familiar people, this world of college athletics is super small. I mean, you see it all the time in basketball, football, and baseball. These coaches and players know so many different people, and you take a lot of pride in your network because that network will help advance your career when you're done.
To that point, there's also another Breslowitz sister on that roster. Can you talk a little bit about what you're seeing from Molly right now and what it'll be like for her to see her sister?
Yeah, the volume of voices will pick up this weekend when the Breslowitz in town. Molly has an X factor about her that, she relates and has a connection with every player on her team. And, she's a glue to what we do defensively. And it still amazes me that every time I pick up a box score, she's averaging 3 digs a game as a DS and 3 rotations. That just doesn't happen very often. So she's done a really good job, and her court presence is evident when you watch our team play, and our team recognizes that. And, we certainly wouldn't continue to have the success defensively if it wasn't for people like Molly.